So we were in upstate New York. Um, I was actually a camp counselor, and we got one night off. Basically a week. Sometimes we get the day and the night. And there was this place up nearby that was supposedly an abandoned house, um, and it was within walking distance, probably about a 30-40 minute walk from the camp. And so what we'd do is we would, get together all the counselors that had that night off, because it changed every week, and we'd walk the woods, and we'd leave camp around 11:30 because that was generally when everybody lights out. So here we go, we're walking through the woods, and it's close to midnight, and of course it's dark as can be, and don't know where we're going. And took us a few tries, a few nights. We couldn't even find the place. But then we brought one of the other camp counselors with us that had previous knowledge of where it was, and he'd been there before. So we decided, okay, let's try this again. We went out and we took him with us. And so he brought us right to the house, and it didn't look really like a house at all. It looked more like a small castle, I guess you could explain it. Or it was maybe 3 stories high, had very tall peaks, but all the windows were all smashed out of it. It's been abandoned for many, many years, and there's no power to it, and trees have grown up around the lawn is, of course, gone. It was all woods. There was no road to it. There was no access to it except for just straight out of the woods. And very, very little clearing, but there was a courtyard inside. That was probably the clearest part of the whole place as far as trees. And there was trees growing up in the courtyard, but they weren't as mature as the trees around the outside. So we walk into the door, and we're all a little nervous and a little apprehensive about it. So we started, kind of scaring each other and playing pranks on each other and making noises that really weren't there, but freaking ourselves out. And then we came up and to the second floor, and they had a fireplace it was unusual because it was like two access, a fireplace on the lower floor and on the upper floor. It seemed like it went to the same chimney, but I'm not sure if that was the case. But the upper floor, we saw some abnormalities, maybe, of just dust in there, and like people, and we just thought people had been in there. And while we were all checking it out and kind of still scaring each other, we heard a loud bang from downstairs. And this couldn't have happened from one of us because we were all upstairs in this room, and so we're looking at each other, and now we're obviously freaked out, but we're okay, is anybody missing? Is everybody here? And everybody was there in the room. So we quietly go downstairs and look around, and we didn't see anything. We didn't see any evidence of a door being fall off its hinges or anything like that. But so we walk on out, and we end up in the courtyard. This is the time when we discovered that the place had a courtyard. And again, like I said in the beginning, that the courtyard was the clearest place in all the area. There was very few or very minimal growth. So we're all walking from one end of the courtyard to the other as the house wraps around. It's a very small courtyard, but it's, you can see the other side. You can see the entrance to the house, and there's no doors, there's no windows anywhere in the house. And again, we heard a noise on the other side of the courtyard in the house. So we immediately walk on over through the courtyard to the other side. We go inside, and we didn't see anything, didn't see any evidence of anything. And there's no lights, there's no power, there's nothing in this house. It has absolutely nothing. And we hear birds, crows chirping, and it's probably about, I'd say, 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock at this time. And we're all pretty freaked out by just the noises that we've heard. And so we decided, okay, we've had enough. So we leave. We all walk back out the front door that we came in, and we started walking away. And then one of the girls that was with us looks back, and she says, "Look." and there was a light inside upstairs. Of course, there was no windows, but you could see a faint light. And, we asked, did anybody leave a flashlight or anything like that? And no, nobody left anything behind. And that's when we all took off, started running through the woods, and headed back to camp.